and welcome to another episode of WTF. I'm Will.
I'm Trevor.
And today we're going to be reviewing the movie Rocketman. It's a biofilm about the music legend that is Elton John.
So this movie stars Taron Egerton.
Yeah, Taron Egerton. Yeah.
We've seen him in Eddie the Eagle, or maybe, I don't know, probably not a lot of people have seen that movie.
It's actually fantastic with Hugh Jackman.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Based on the true story of the 1993 Winter Olympics, I believe, out of Calgary.
Yeah.
Or no, it was 1989.
Probably 89.
89 Olympics.
Because that's like right around my grad year.
Damn it.
I'm showing my age again.
I know. Also starring Bryce Dallas Howard and Richard Madden. Now, Bryce Dallas Howard you probably know from the Jurassic Worlds, and Richard Madden is better known for his role in Game of Thrones as Robb Stark.
But for those people like me who haven't watched every episode of Game of Thrones, I've seen him in the TV show Bodyguard, which he actually won a Golden Globe for, I believe.
It's pretty badass.
Also stars Jamie Bell.
Right, yes.
So if you recognize his face, which I did, but I had to go and look him up later to figure out where he was from. He was the little kid in Billy Elliot, so if you ever saw that movie.
He was a dancing machine.
Yes.
He's been in a few others, like the AMC show Turn, the horrible remake of Fantastic Four. Yeah, so bad.
And Jumper,
that's right. So this movie is also directed by Dexter Fletcher. Interesting time with that. Dexter Fletcher also directed Eddie the Eagle, starring Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this film? Tell me about it. How did you feel?
How did it make me feel?
Yes.
I actually really loved most of this movie. I really enjoyed the way it broke out into song. Like,
it's a musical, by the way.
Well, kind of.
It's a musical.
I guess it's going to be categorized as a musical.
There's
a lot
fully
of
choreographed dance.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just, it kind of reminded me a little bit of La La Land, how it broke out into song. Like when I first started watching the film, I was like, okay, I see what the director's doing here. But it was good. It worked for me, and I would assume this is probably what Elton John wanted and how he wanted it to be made. He was also executive producer on the project.
And the other thing too is Elton John's got such a long list of hits and songs that in the scenes, the songs they were singing actually played to the storyline, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I found that very interesting. And for me, I'm not really a huge fan of musicals, but
yeah, I'm not either, but this
was really well done.
And it was just really cool the way that there'd be a scene, they'd be acting in the scene, then the main character would break out into song, and then everybody else that was in the scene would break out into parts of the song as well, but they're still in character. So it was really cool the way that came about.
Before I knew it was a musical, I thought it'd be a little more like Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, obviously there'll be some singing in it, but more that kind of storyline, not what they did here, but it worked.
Yeah, I'm even going to say I actually enjoyed it more than Bohemian Rhapsody for me personally.
So the one big difference I noticed is between, not to compare it to Bohemian Rhapsody because clearly it's a different film, but Rami Malek was lip syncing and it was actually Freddie Mercury's voice over top, where Taron Egerton actually sang every single song. It was his voice. He was doing all of it, and
which made it that's why I think it made it a little bit better. So more original.
Totally. And he killed it. He truly killed it.
He was fantastic. And like when you watch like those musical TV shows like The Voice and all that kind of stuff, and singers come on and they sing their version of somebody's song, that was kind of like what he was doing on here, which made it more original, and you kind of bought into him as the actor even more so. Like, he was great. I love these. I'm kind of a sucker for these movies because I love seeing the origin stories of amazing artists and how they have this gift. And the guy gave him the words to the song, and he could just sit at a piano and create unbelievable music.
Yeah, it's just we even talked about it's the lyric or the tune just comes in, like he just hears the entire tune of the song in his head, and just his fingers just start moving.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember his name, and I don't want to look it up right now, but the youngest version of Elton John in the film.
Yeah, the kid,
The kid. Oh my God, that kid can sing.
He was great.
He was great. He played a great version of...
He did. It was cool. You see him at the beginning, and then there was a scene closer to the end. Yeah, that was great.
But just his voice, even the singing, he opened up the whole dance number pretty much.
He was great.
Yeah.
And it was great, too, to see him at the beginning and then see him at the end, and how that tied into how... the character, and Elton John, I guess, in real life, was dealing with himself as a child, and how he kind of grew out of who he used to be and why he changed his name and all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed the relationship with the parents because it's obviously flawed, just a little bit. But it's one of those things where you think about this is how some people become great, is because they had to deal with such adversity growing up, and then this is their way of, I guess, breaking out or getting over it. There was one scene in the movie that just my hairs stood on end because it was exciting, and it was it was exciting for me, but it was a really important scene in the movie where he went to play at that stadium.
The Troubadour?
Yeah, I think it was a Troubadour.
That's in the beginning.
It's closer. It's not like it's
not in the beginning, but
it's kind of like I think it's breaking into the second half.
When he first goes to the States.
Yeah, that's right. He goes to the States and he's playing the guitar playing the piano, and then his legs start to raise off the ground, and then the whole crowd starts to raise off the ground.
That was really cool.
And I was like, oh, this is so cool, because that's the moment when I think he realizes that, wow, okay, he's just literally taking off. So I think we should rate this out of piano keys. Oh. So if we had like a 10 keyboard on the bottom row right here.
And no one's ever heard of a 10 key piano.
Doesn't matter, we're creating it right now. So
it's only this big.
I'm gonna give it 8
for small hands.
Are you gonna stop interrupting me?
No.
God, look who's interrupting me.
Small hands.
So I'm gonna rate our keyboards, and I'm gonna give it 8 keyboards out of 10.
Yeah. We pretty much have, it's not very often we have the exact same positive things to say and very few negatives. I mean,
what are you going to rate it, Will?
Actually,
you're going to put a half in there right now. I can feel a half coming.
I'm going to go 8 1/4. Just to outdo you.
Okay, yeah, just because that's outdoing you.
Yeah, cool, really cool show. Watching Amazon Prime. I think it's only became available about a week ago, maybe a little less, maybe on the weekend. Anyways, it's called Good Omens with David Tennant and Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen plays an angel where David Tennant plays a demon.
Yeah, so Michael Sheen's from
Masters of Sex.
Which is a great show.
Many other films and TV shows, but it's a great show. And David Tennant he's a British actor. He was in the newer remake of Fright Night. He's been in...
He's been in one of the shows I really like, Broadchurch. Yeah, he was the main guy in that.
He's very good. I mean, it's a very cool... I mean, you think of religion, but it's... I don't know, it's very funny. It's got a huge cast. John Hamm guest stars in it quite a bit, and
I haven't seen it yet, but I'll check it out.
I've enjoyed it. It's a 6 episode, so it's not like it's too tough to get through.
Yeah, I just watched the first 3 episodes of...
but it's awesome.
What the heck is it called? The Fabulous...
Oh, Fabulous Miss Maisel.
Miss Maisel, which is great.
Thanks again for watching another episode of WTF, and we'll see you